you keep that background in mind, then perhaps you'll understand these two ayat in a different light. The first two ayat, the morning and the night that is still and lifeless. The morning and the soothing light felt like when the revelation used to come. The comfort that it used to bring, the brilliance that he used to enjoy of it. And now all of a sudden it's like a night that just won't end. And it's still and it's lifeless. Where's the day? Where's the brightness? Where did it go? And Allah is referencing both of those experiences for the Prophet ﷺ in these first two ayat. The coming of the revelation and then the gap in revelation and him being left in the dark. Now, what does that mean for the Prophet ﷺ? When people are saying to him that, he left, of course he doesn't believe it's shaitan, but even if he takes it to heart, maybe Allah is upset with me. Maybe I have done something wrong. Maybe I was worthy of the Quran that Allah was giving me, but now I'm not anymore. And that's why Allah is not giving it to me. And so all these thoughts are coming to him because now the gift of revelation has been discontinued. Maybe it'll never continue again. He doesn't know that. He has no idea. And so when this surah came, Allah Azza wa Jal gave him this beautiful, beautiful consolation. He said, "Ma wadda'aka rabbuka." Ma is used, they say in Arabic, for rad, which means to correct somebody. When you say no to something, but let me translate this first so you appreciate what I'm saying. Your master did not say goodbye to you. Easy English. Your master didn't say goodbye to you. But the word didn't say goodbye, that's a negative, right? There are lots of ways to do negatives in the Arabic language. Lam yuwaddi'ka rabbuk. You could say it that way too. You could say ma wadda'aka rabbuk. Laysa rabbuka bimuwaddi'in. There's many ways to say it. But this way of saying it, using ma to say it, is actually a way of saying, no, you're wrong. Allah hasn't said farewell to you. This is to correct somebody, that's when you use ma. Like we say la ilaha illallah. When we say la ilaha illallah, we're making a statement. As a matter of fact, la rhetorically means you're answering a question. Is there anyone besides Allah? No. La ilaha illallah. But if somebody says the wrong thing, somebody says there are gods besides Allah, then you have to correct them. Then the answer is not la ilaha illallah, then it's ma min ilahin illallah. That's actually the other phrase in the Quran, ma min ilahin illallah, to correct the wrong notion. So here the wrong notion of the Prophet ﷺ that may be brewing in his mind, in his heart, the sadness that maybe Allah is unhappy, revelation isn't coming, is corrected and alleviated first by the word ma. Then he says, ma wadda'aka rabbuk. And wadda' in Arabic is used for the inside of the pit of a date is called wadda'. A grave site is called wadi'. Or if they would build walls around somebody's grave and never go inside it, like a tomb area, and they build wall around it and they're never going to go to it again. This is actually called a wadi' also. Similarly, the word wada' was used for, as an expression of saying goodbye, meaning something you never come back to. Like it's walled off, you're never going to come back to it. This inside of the pit of a date, nobody's ever going to know what's in there. It's just going to be left alone. Allah did not abandon you. Allah did not leave you alone. That's the idea of ma wadda'aka rabbuka. Don't get that wrong. Now let's talk, this is about the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but understand that even for ourselves, there are times where we feel the intensity of Iman. There are times where it's easy for the tears to roll down your eyes, for you to feel like you have repented before Allah and you feel a closeness to Him in sajda and you don't want to get your head up from the sajda. There are times when you're standing in prayer and you have an experience that only you know, nobody else except Allah knows. There are those experiences. There are times in which you are crying before Allah, confessing before Allah, admitting your faults before Allah, and those are some of the most beautiful moments of your life. And when those moments go away, and maybe sometimes you wander off, and you go so far from that closeness to Allah, and you're then in a place, thank you so much, young man. So when you're so far from that place now, you're like, man, I wish I can never feel that again. I used to be a good person. I used to be close to Allah. I can barely remember what that felt like, but I'm in the dark now. There's no way that that's ever going to come back. I've made too many mistakes. See, with the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's assuming that he might have made a mistake. He doesn't know what it is, and of course he didn't make a mistake. But in our case, we know what mistakes we've made. We know the mishaps we've done. We know what we've done to harden our hearts and get away from Allah Azza wa Jal. But even to us, Allah Azza wa Jal is giving hope that just like the messenger, this is why the messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had to experience this gap. One of its benefits was this ummah and his followers are going to experience a gap. They're going to experience times where they're close to Allah and their hearts are touched by the Quran, and then they're going to feel like they're just in this night that just won't end. They're going to feel that way. And you have to be able to relate to that experience because you're going to give them hope that even though you're so far away, you'll be able to bring them back.